Hello everyone, this is Joe Picks. I'm Joe, and this is going to be my entry into LockFumbler's 100 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to use this American Lock Series 1305 that I received from Mur-Lock 68. And Mur-Lock, again, thank you so much for sending me this. So what we're supposed to do is give a piece of advice that helped us when we were, starting out or at some point advancing in lockpicking. And what I'm going to talk about is the appropriate tension for this style of American lock. I learned this from Chris Capoon in a video that he did when I was desperately trying to get these open and just had absolutely no luck. Everything was seized up and I couldn't feel anything, and that's because I had been used to picking stuff like this and similar locks that require very, very heavy tension. So what I'm going to suggest as a bit of advice for novice pickers, especially if you've never picked an 1100 or any similar American lock, and that is to use absolute feather light tension. And one way to gauge that, and this is how Chris really drove it home, is you can slide your pick in between your finger and your tensioner, and there's no resistance whatsoever. So it's just barely the weight of your finger at all. And from there, he refers to it as I don't like tickling, but I like to just sort of touch on each pin, and you'll definitely be able to feel the ones that are binding. And when they do, just a little click at a time. You're not trying to, these have serrated key pins and serrated drivers and serrated spools, or at least the 1100s do. So on those serrations, you're not necessarily trying to, at the very first time, set the entire pin. There's a little click there. And you want to just keep going back and forth. I usually do back to front repeatedly. There's a little click, there's a little click. And sometimes, I believe I overset, let a little bit of that go. I don't pick with this very often. Let me switch to my go-to. So I've seen the key bitting on this, so I know that the last pin here is an 8, which is a 0 lift. So really just picking the first 4. Nice little click, nice little click. And again, I'm just sort of, there's a nice click. Just stepping my way through, and eventually, through careful repetition, you'll get it open. I haven't picked this one before, but it's always been my experience so far that this approach works very well. And once you figure the lock out at that point, you can just repeat, learn it, remember it. There was a click. There was a click with a little bit of movement. Another click on the same pin. Still have that little bit of movement on the core. There it is. So, did not detect any spools, just a bunch of serrations. So while we are at it, let's go ahead and get this thing open, because I'm curious to see what is on the inside. So here's the bitting on the key. Some nice high lifts, and it's likely that these are just all serrated. I have another American like that where it's only serrated pins, but serrated pins and with a lot of high lifts really makes you work out those clicks, if you take my meaning there. Oh, it has a anti-bypass wafer, which we always like to see. I know you can punch through them, but still. Oh, the C-clip is just begging to come off. No effort whatsoever. I'm gonna use the key because I always like to turn these where the top of the actuator is in line with the top of the keyway. Less room for error. This one shims very easily, which is always nice. I have some Americans that you just can't put a shim in. Okay, so as we would expect, it is chambered up to 6, but only pinned to 5. 1, 2. Might hit this with a little bit of Houdini. Come on. Just want 4 and 5. There's that 8 cut. You can see how much bigger it is than the rest of them and does not require any attention whatsoever. So all of these but the shortest pin have 2 serrations, as you would expect with an American lock. And let's see what we have. Serrated. 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 And yes, all serrated pins. Very, very nice. You know, I find that without this spool, they can often be more challenging because you don't get that tell of the false set and counter rotation. Anyway, yeah, so light tension and just carefully going pin to pin and just carefully checking for a click each time and not trying to necessarily set the entire thing right away. LockFumbler, again, congratulations on exceeding 100 subscribers. Excellent and well-deserved. Everyone else, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe to see more, and have a great day. Thank you.